Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again, and I'm here with a video I typically don't do, but by popular demand you guys have been wondering about this, so I have today an apps loading test for you on the Mi 10 Pro and the Galaxy S20 Ultra. So I got a number of apps here that are lined up, and we're just going to see how these phones do opening up each of these apps. We're also going to be testing the reboot time for these phones, and also lastly just checking out the fingerprint scanners as well. So let's get started. So as you can see, I have no apps in recent memory, and just FYI, both of these phones are going to be running on their highest refresh rates, so 90 Hz and 120 Hz respectively. Okay, so I'm now ready to open these apps, and we're going to start here just with a list of apps that are kind of daily use but very basic apps. We're going to see which one opens these first, and I'll be awarding 1 point to the phone that opens first. And in some of these apps like Photoshop Express and the benchmarks, we're actually going to be running the benchmark, and I'll be awarding points to the phone that gets there first as well. So we start at the Play Store and open. There we go, the S20 Ultra came in first, so that's 1 point for the S20 Ultra. Now we do settings and identical, and if they are identical, I don't award any points. That's pretty much the same. Now gallery. Okay, so if I notice it there, it looks like the Mi 10 Pro came in first. And now camera, and go. And I'm going to give it there to the Mi 10 Pro. It looks like it opened the app just a little bit faster. So 1 point now, so that's 2 points for the Mi 10 Pro. Down this first round of apps. Now let's go into the second round, but let's get started here with Spotify in 3, 2, 1. And I give it to the Mi 10 Pro once again. So that's 3 points for the Mi 10 Pro. And now YouTube. And go. Mi 10 Pro once again. So Mi 10 Pro now 4 points for the Mi 10 Pro so far. And here we go. 3, 2, 1. S20 Ultra came in first there from what I can see. And now let's do Instagram. Go. And definitely the S20 Ultra came in first. So if I'm not mistaken, that's now 3 points for the S20 Ultra, but 4 points for the Mi 10 Pro. So we're seeing a pretty tight race here, but let's see if things get a bit more separated now. And so now we get to Chrome and go. Okay, so I give the edge there to the S20 Ultra, but it was very slight. So it's a tied game now, 4 points apiece. And now we go into the benchmarks. So 1 point to see when we open up, and then I'm going to speed through the actual benchmark and we'll award a point to the phone that actually does it the fastest. And go. Very close there, but the Mi 10 Pro just jumped in just before. And here you can actually see the scores of these phones. Alright, so apologies guys, I had to restart the Antutu test. The S20 Ultra just completely crashed there. So let's test these again now, and let's see how we do in 3, 2, 1. And you saw it there, guys. Unbelievable. This was back and forth. The Mi 10 Pro had the advantage for the majority of the test, but in the last 10%, the S20 Ultra caught up, and that I consider a tie. So pretty incredible result there on these Snapdragon 865 phones. But this is not the only benchmark we're doing today. We're also doing Geekbench 5, so let's open these up in 3, 2, 1. Identical. I give a slight edge there, but not worth a point. Let's run the CPU benchmark and see if there's any difference. And here we go. Getting very close. And boom, we have a winner. And in first place here is the Mi 10 Pro. It got there first, and finally we see the S20 Ultra get there. Just what I suspected, guys. The Mi 10 Pro in these benchmarks, it pulls ahead early, and in this case it did not lose its lead. It came in first in Geekbench 5. And now let's continue with Photoshop Express in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the S20 Ultra got the edge there, but the thing I want to do now is export a photo. So we're just going to pick 4 random photos here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's export the photo and see which one gets there first. In 3, 2, 1. And it looks like the Mi 10 Pro got there first. It saved it to gallery first, so that's 1 more point for the Mi 10 Pro. And now we get to the final section here, and this is the game section. So just seeing which phone loads the game first. Let's start with Sonic Boom in 3, 2, 1. And I give the edge there to the Mi 10 Pro, just by a hair, but that was enough of a difference to make it win that point. Now we go to Altos Odyssey and go. And yes, the Mi 10 Pro got there first again into Altos Odyssey, and the S20 Ultra was just a step behind. And now let's do Asphalt 9 in 3, 2, 1, go. And there it is. It got in first, the Mi 10 Pro, and now that's 10 points for the Mi 10 Pro. It has just had the edge here and there in benchmarks and in apps loading. Let's continue now with PUBG Mobile, and here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. And there we go. We are in on the Mi 10 Pro. It got there first, so that is 11th point for the Mi 10 Pro. The S20 Ultra was not too far behind there, but it was still a matter of a couple of seconds, I would say, between these two, opening probably the most taxing game that I test on the channel, PUBG Mobile. And now that we've done the apps loading test, I'm going to go back through each app, and I just want to see if the phones have saved it in memory. If one phone keeps the app in memory and the other one doesn't, it will win a point in this section. Let's go from PUBG to Play Store. Here we go. Alright, that's still in memory. And now we go to Asphalt 9. Still in memory. And look at that, the S20 Ultra has kept Altos in memory while Mi 10 Pro has not. So that's 1 point now for the S20 Ultra. Can it catch up again? Both apps in memory here on these phones for Sonic. And look at that, both of these apps were not kept in memory for Photoshop, so no points awarded there. Geekbench 5, both apps in memory there, so it's a tie, no points awarded. And look at that, Antutu was not kept in memory on both phones, no points awarded. Opening up Chrome, and it looks like it was kept in memory on the S20 Ultra and not on the Mi 10 Pro, so that's another point for the S20 Ultra. Coming back here in the apps saved in memory section, and both Instagrams kept in memory there, no points awarded. Twitter, looks like both phones reloaded that, so no points awarded there. And YouTube, both apps kept in memory, so no points awarded. Spotify as well, kept in memory, no points awarded. And the camera, it did have to reload again, so no points awarded. And the gallery as well, looks like it was not reloaded, so no points awarded there. This was kept in memory, settings was kept in memory, no points awarded. And last but not least, the Play Store. Well, it looks to me like the Mi 10 Pro kept that in memory, and the S20 Ultra didn't. I'll have to double check that, but for now I'm going to give the extra point here to the Mi 10 Pro. And so very interesting turn of events here. And now let's check out these fingerprint scanners. And now to test the speed of the fingerprint scanners. 3, 2, 1. Very close indeed. Let's test one more time. Almost identical, but I give a slight edge there actually to the S20 Ultra. The animation might be a little bit faster on this phone, and you can see it there just by a hair. There was a bit more identical. So in terms of the actual fingerprint scanner speed, I think you could go either way. I would give a slight edge for some of those to the S20 Ultra, but the Mi 10 Pro is still a super fast fingerprint scanner. But it's good to know at least that that should be a non-issue when you're picking up either of these phones. Okay, and here we go with the reboot test in 3, 2, 1, go. And there's the S20 Ultra. It might get there first. Let's see which one does toward the final point here of the day. And there it is. The Mi 10 Pro just adds to its insurmountable lead. And that is it. An extra point for the Mi 10 Pro when it comes to the reboot test. And so that's it, guys. And my final results here in this apps loading, memory, fingerprint scanning, and reboot test. We have 13 points awarded to the Mi 10 Pro and only 7 awarded to the S20 Ultra. This clearly proves to me that yes, while minute a difference, those do add up over time. I can definitely see, though, also the improved benchmarks, because some of those were just a factor of seconds. But when you look at the price difference between these two phones, you see that a Snapdragon 865 is still an 865, an Adreno 650 is still an Adreno 650. Whether it's in a $700 phone or a $1,400 phone, you're going to get pretty much the same performance from this Mi 10 Pro. And that is what makes this phone so incredible, because it is essentially offering a similar performance level, and in many cases, because of this test, a better performance experience than the much more expensive S20 Ultra. But anyways, hit me up in the comments. What did you think of this test? And do you think the S20 Ultra is still worth the extra money over the Mi 10 Pro? I'd love to hear your thoughts. But that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for future updates. So thanks again, guys, for watching all this Mi 10 Pro coverage. I do appreciate it. And that's it. This is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one.